Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it happens to be for yourselves. We're here with another rundown, as we do this every week now, apparently, because that was a good idea, and that's what we're gonna do with the ICBBL stuff, and nobody else is doing it, so I'm doing it. We're going to do another rundown of the ICBBL leagues, and we can have a cat cam at the same time as well. So, you can see my face. I've been accused a few times of not using face cam. This is my face. This is my happy face. This is my sad face. And this is my angry face. And this is a cat. Anybody who asks you about cat biting me, or anybody asking you about my face cam, this is what I look like. This is my face. Clip it and send it to them. I don't run it though because it tanks my CPU. So, which race should AD take to steal 26? So you saw the opening if you're watching back, or if you happen to come here really early, which it looks like a couple of people have. So each of these races, sorry, let me just get a blood bowl back up. Each of the races that started at the start of the video are options for steal season 26 for me, so there is a vote currently going on, and I've actually added a straw poll now because some of the teams were getting more popular. Yanada. So there is actually, I have my own vote in the background, but I will add the votes from the straw poll to that vote and anything else that you mention in chat or otherwise. Basically anything that comes up during the vote, I'll add it to my own personal vote that I have on my computer. I will say at the moment there, I'm not going to say which team, but there is one team that is miles ahead of the other teams. There's a second team that's slightly behind, but it may potentially catch up. There are two teams that have a couple of votes that are also named here. And then there are all the rest of the teams, basically. There's 4 that have had 1 vote each, and then the rest haven't had any votes. So that's where all that stands. But we're not here for that. We're here for the roundup, and that's why you guys dropped in. So let's get into that. And we'll start with Bronze A today. And I need to correct a few things as well, actually, before we start. So one more little note, but specifically on... Where's Google? There it is. Specifically on the rundowns this time. So a couple of notes. My maths was completely off last week because I was working with, well, the wrong information. For some reason, I thought a win was worth 2 points, not 3. So any maths that I did last week was completely wrong, and I will be using Spike this time to make sure it's correct. Second thing to mention, of course, is that we do have 2 weeks for this final round. So this final round is going to be 2 separate videos, a part 1 and a part 2. I'll go through the games that have already been played, and I'll go through the table as it stands this week, and then we'll do a final one before the playoffs next week as well. Come on, Newt. Calm down. Sorry, my cat is a little bit, well, he's seeking attention, mostly, so he tends to do this when it's just me at home and when I'm kind of ignoring him, like I am now, because obviously I'm streaming. And the other thing that I forgot to mention was that in Gold there is a playoff, but there's also a relegation, and I forgot about the relegation. So the bottom 2 teams in Gold actually do get relegated, which is something I didn't mention at all last week. I think it's the bottom 2 anyway. Maybe it's the bottom 4 actually, because yeah, it's top 2 from each silver, isn't it? So the bottom 4 maybe get relegated even. I'll need to double check that one, to be honest, but I know there's definitely a relegation in Gold, and some teams do get relegated, and it's usually the bottom teams, of course. I think Gold stays as 8 players, but 8 coaches, but it may depend on the way that the sign-ups look at the end of the sign-up period. I'll have to check with an admin, so if there is an admin or somebody in the know in the chat, please do correct me. I would very much appreciate it. And that's the last thing I want to mention very quickly from last video. I did get some notes from multiple coaches. Some of them were useful, actually, and some of them were not, but that's okay. I'm open to every single comment you have on your own team, or even on somebody else's team. If you've noticed something that you think is worth mentioning, by all means let me know. And I will add it to now my huge-ass Excel sheet that I created to help me with this, because after the first one, I didn't feel suitably prepared. So now I've gone way too deep into these rundowns, and it's probably going to take up a lot of my time, but hopefully it will be entertaining for you guys as a result. So that's where all that stands. So without further ado, let's actually have a look at some of these groups, and we'll start with Bronze A. So we'll start with the Pyramid, we'll finish with Steel, and I've actually started a little bit earlier this week, and also it should be quicker, so I should get through everything without rushing this week, he says, with a lot of optimism. So there are two teams that have played this season. Where's the schedule? That's this round, sorry. So two teams have already played. We've had the Norse team against the Chaos Dwarfs, and we've had the Halflings against the Skaven. So this is... Oh really, Beer Monkey has already played, yeah? Is this Beer Monkey? I think this is Beer Monkey. Or is it not Beer Monkey? No, this is Bronze. This is not Beer Monkey. So we've had... we'll have a look here. So it's Catbus. Sorry, Catbus. My mistake. Catbus has played against Evil Smoothie, and Mr. Sims V. Who was that on Discord? Let's have a quick look. I've got it in my notes, and I've got too many things open now with all these notes, but there we go. Bronze A. Mr. Sims V. Oh, I haven't changed the name. Okay, maybe... I don't think they're called the same in Discord though, so I just haven't made a note for that one. Sorry, I forgot what you called in Discord, but this coach has played against Sauron and his Chaos Dwarfs. So the games went... the Norse won their game, and there was a draw between the Skaven and the Halflings, which is always a great result for Halflings, of course. I'll have a look at the teams in a little bit, but where does the leaderboard stand now? And I'll have the score on Spike open at the same time to give me a little bit more information than I had last time. So we have Meshuggah at the top with 14 points and a game in hand. So Meshuggah is definitely through to the playoffs. There's no way around that. He's 100% through because he's at the top of the league. He's got he's got a game in hand, and he's got top points. Nobody can catch him. So Meshuggah is definitely through with 4 wins and 2 draws. So no matter what happens when he plays against No More Pain, yeah, No More Pain. When he plays against the Underworld team, he's going through. It looks like Catbus has potentially secured his playoff spot as well, but Crowley is still within reach if he wins. I think Crowley actually takes over if he wins. Yes, he does. Crowley actually, if he wins his game, he does take over this top spot. And the same for Meridreg and his Amazon team. So the Wood Elves and the Amazon team are still very much alive in this drive. So these two teams from Crowley and Meridreg still very much got everything to play for, and I think they're playing each other, yeah? The Bloody Pulps, that was the other team? No, the Bloody Pulps are the Orcs. Okay, so they're playing against other people, it looks like. Ah, okay, so one of them, the Wonderworlds, is actually an Amazon team. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Sorry, it's not Underworld. So Amazon against the Chaos that are already through, so if the Amazons win, they can take that second spot potentially, and the Wood Elves against the Orcs. If the Wood Elves win, then it's between the Wood Elves, the Amazons, and the... what was the last team? The Norse team, yeah? No, the Skaven team. I'm all over the place now. The Skaven team are also potentially in. So, what about these other teams that are left then? Everybody else is unfortunately done, I think. Yeah, the Orcs are out of contention. The Halflings have already finished in 7th place 100%, and the Chaos Dwarfs have already finished in 7th place 100% because these two have played their games. The Norse can potentially drop down 1 spot and the Orcs can overtake them, but the Norse and the Orcs are going to finish 5th and 6th in some order, so we're just fighting with the top 4 here based on what's left in the results. And what do we get in terms of development? Catbus hasn't taken his level up, which is a shame, but we'll start with the first team in the list here, which is Evil Smoothie. Where are my notes? Somebody died in the Halfling team, so there is a dead Halfling, and it looks like he has been replaced, because I think he had 14 players last time I looked at this team. No level ups this round, as far as I can tell, but we have had a dead Richard Hammond. So Richard Hammond died. So F in the chat for Richard Hammond. I don't know what he looked like. I didn't know him very well. We only spoke a couple of times, but he, unfortunately, is splatted and now dead. But the Halfling team looks like this at the end of the season, and they could continue in Bronze, or they could well retire, but they're not going up to Silver, unfortunately. So, good job, Evil Smoothie. You survived a round, and you've still got a full team, and you even pulled out at least 1 win. You pulled out 1 win and 1 draw, which is, you know, when you're facing teams that are so much stronger, that's actually a pretty good result, to be fair. And against the Skaven are pretty beaten up. Maybe that's why you got a good result. But I know you're a good coach, so there's also a chance that it was a fairly fair matchup. The Norse have also already played their game. Excuse me. So the the Norse are still looking pretty battered. I'm pretty sure they were looking battered last week as well. And do we have any notes on the Norse? We don't. Did I miss something on the Norse? Let me just have a quick look to make sure that I didn't miss something. I don't think I did, to be fair, but where are we? Because I'm pretty sure that I was quite careful with these notes this time, but I didn't double check them, which I probably should have done. Yeah, there's nothing on the Norse. I just checked the replay, and no, nothing there. So the Norse have finished their season as well, and they finish with 8 players left alive. Is that 8 or is that 9? 9 players, sorry. 9 players left alive. And overall it's not a bad looking team, to be fair, and you've got enough money to replace one player, so you can pick up a lineman or you can keep playing with loners. It doesn't make much of a difference, I guess. You might be saving up for... I have a feeling that you're saving up for a Ulf, not an Ulf, what they called a Yeti. I think you're saving up for a Yeti based on the gold that's left over and the gap here, so good luck with the Yeti. And like I said, the Norse can drop down 1 spot, but at the moment they're in 5th, and if the result goes against the Orcs, then they will stay in 5th position, but no playoffs for the Norse, so they're also staying in bronze or potentially retiring as well. Who else played their game? So the Chaos Dwarfs played their game. Daka Daka Daka. Sorry, that's it's pretty difficult to ignore that every time. We had a dead bull, actually, who has already been replaced. It was a bull centaur, wasn't it? I think it was a bull centaur. I'm pretty sure it was a bull centaur. I may be misremembering though, but I'm pretty sure a bull centaur died last game. And considering that this one's a rookie, I think that's correct. So, yes, I'm pretty sure it was a bull centaur, and his name was... where did my notes go? His name was Red Baron. And also, Karland took a busted armor. Where's he? There he is. Karland, the Chaos Dwarf blocker, also took a busted armor. So, a bit of a rough ride for the Chaos Dwarfs, apparently. There was some damage done there. There was a level up on a Hobgoblin as well. Which one was it? It was Sharpnose. And where is Sharpnose? There he is. So... he's not a goblin, sorry. He's a Chaos Dwarf blocker, and he picked up Claw. So that's a double, I believe, on Chaos Dwarfs, yeah. So he rolled a double and he picked up Claw. So a disgusting Chaos Dwarf team became more disgusting with Claw on the team. So that's where this team stands. And unfortunately, they do finish at the bottom of the table with no wins and 2 draws. But same position as the other 2 teams. They can continue in bronze. Now they've got the Claw. Probably I would continue this team just because, you know, see how they develop. And the other option, of course, is they can retire. But considering that you took the level up pretty happily, I guess not. And then we have Catbus. He was the last one to play his final game, and a very broken rat team. Just 2 gutters left. What happened to Catbus this week? Where is he? There. So, there was a level up, and... oh, yes, a gutter runner died. So, COVID-19 was killed this week. Can you believe it? Evil Smoothie cured the world of this disease that is ridding us of, well, a lot of things that we don't want to be rid of. So, COVID-19 was killed in the game last time, who was a gutter runner. And this Stormvermin HIV did pick up, of course, a level up, and now he's going to get Leap. Because we haven't leveled up yet, and every time you have a level up that hasn't been announced, that's what I'm going to assume you're taking. So, there's that. That's it for Bronze, I think. And I need to open chat, I just realized it's not open. So, I will do that quickly. That wasn't very smart of me. Just realized I've been talking all this time with no chat to look at. So let's get that up and running. AJDStudios, my channel, chat. Yes, good. So, hello everybody who is here and who is not here. I don't think I've missed anything though, so we look like we're good. Good. So let's move on to Bronze B. Where is Bronze B? There they are. And let's open it on Spike as well. And also check my notes. So in Bronze B, how many games are played? I don't think any games have been played in Bronze B. One game has been played in Bronze B. Yeah, okay. Positron Mike and Makarovich had their game. Of course, of course. Where are we? Here we are. So there was one game played. The Dark Elves' Momentary Lapse of Reason took on the, I think, Necromantic Dread Incarnate Doomstack, but I'll check them in a second. I'll check them now, actually. Yes, so the top two teams actually played against each other. And let's have a quick look at the table while we're here then. So it looks like, yeah, Makarovich is 100% top of the league. He has won this group, and this is my group actually. Yes, this is my group. So Makarovich 100% has won Bronze B and is going to the playoffs. And Positron Mike has definitely fallen short, unfortunately. He's probably finishing in 5th, but there is a chance that the humans, Club de Toten Dichter, can also take over and get to 5th position in his place. But yes, the Necromantic team definitely through. And what do we have left? I thought I was in the running. I actually still kinda am, but it's much harder than I thought it was originally. So my Norse team is probably done with 9 points, even if I win. That's 11, which is shorter than every third place we've seen so far for certain. So we'd have to have a look at C to be sure, but I don't think 11 points is enough to go up, to be fair. So I guess I'm done. Good morning, Dead Shores. To be honest, you're going to be watching this video and have no idea what's going on, because you're not part of ICBBL, but I welcome you, I hope you're well, and yeah, good to see you. The Chaos Dwarfs and the Dark Elves are both fighting for the 2nd position here. So, the Chaos and the Dark Elves are both fighting for 2nd position here with the same score, and both have a game left to go. So what we got left? We've got the Dark Elves Slanish Giver's Claws facing the Feather of the Sun. I've already forgotten what that team is. That team is the AI team, of course. That's why I've forgotten about them. So that is actually, yeah, the Dark Elves are getting a bye week this week. So Nibanon has a very good chance of promoting because the Citadel of Chaos have to beat me, which they can, of course. But this Norse team, this Norse team in its entire career so far has only lost 2 games. So you know, I'm hoping to maintain that pretty solid record. I'm hoping actually to go a 3-3-1, of course, which doesn't let me take over Saroni, but it does mean that, well, the Norse team still have a pretty solid record as they retire, because the Norse are definitely retiring after this season. So the 2 teams that have played already, so the Dark Elves, let's have a look at them first. They finished their season. Don't know if they're going to continue or retire, and I don't think I have any notes on them. Yes, I do. So, Signs of Life leveled up. Where is he? And he picked up Guard, so we got a double, and we got a Guard on Signs of Life. So that's really good. That helps the Dark Elf team, and considering that there's a chance actually that they will go through, because we got a Mighty Blow and we got a Guard on the team. Oh, it's a Blitzer. He doesn't need doubles. He does need doubles. They don't have strength skills as main skills, of course. So yes, that is actually a doubles, Guard, and a Mighty Blow on a Blitzer as well. So it's good development for the Dark Elves there. But unfortunately, they do finish in, did I say 5th? 5th or 6th, because the humans can take them over. Yeah. And the other team that's played, where are they? There they are, Makarovich's team, who has won this table for certain, with a very, very stacked Nurgle team. Necromantic team, not Nurgle, Necromantic. And somebody leveled up as well. Who was it? It was King Canaria. Where is he? There he is. And he also picked up Guard. Nice and easy for me this week. Just 2 teams that have picked up Guard on one of their main pieces. So that's what's happening there, basically. So well done, Makarovich, who's straight through now, and well done to Meshuggah as well, because I didn't mention it in Group B. You 2 are definitely through to the playoff, at least assuming that my maths is not completely wrong, which is possible. Sorry, I should have had a look at the matchups. So, like I said, the Dark Elves get a bye this week, so they're definitely going to win. The Nurgle team take on the human team. Club de Toten Dichter have the chance to overtake the Momentary Lapse of Reason, so that might well happen. And the Citadel of Chaos take on Manchester United, which is the Chaos team against my Norse. And I'm going to make it as hard as possible for Cerrone. That happens on Sunday. It will be live. But Cerrone's a good coach, so could definitely go either way. Alright then, on to Bronze C, and we're flying through it this week, which is good, bad, I don't know. It just is, we'll say that. And there were 2 games played, I believe. Let me just open it on the Spike to make 100% certain now. Only with 1 game that was much quicker though, so we'll have a look at C, here we go. 2 games? Yes, 2 games. The Significant Otters took on the Madcap Loons. That's Goblins against Lizardmen. And we Rise as We Fall, the Undead team that's had a bit of a beating this season, took on ICBBL Delves, which of course is a Delph team. So how does that make the leaderboard look? So El Miko apparently is how you pronounce it, so we'll go with that. He can correct me if I'm not correct, but that's how he's told me that it's pronounced, so I'll stick with that pronunciation from now on. So El Miko and his ICBBL Delves now have 19 points, and they are guaranteed through. Nobody is catching them. And I'm looking at this table now, and my Norse is still very much alive. If El Tessi doesn't do well enough in this round, the Norse can slip into 3rd place, I think. No, because there was 2 teams above me. So no, the Norse are done. No, 100% the Norse are out. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, El Miko has definitely topped the table with his Dark Elf team. I am on the right screen on the in-game, aren't I? Yes, I am. With 6 wins and 1 draw, which is very impressive, even for a Dark Elf team. Especially with some of these coaches here, because there are some really good coaches in this group. Scooter still has to play, El Tessi still has to play, Rawn still has to play, and Undo still has to play. So Upsy Dups is probably finishing in 4th, though he can actually drop down 2 spots because both Rawn and Undo can overtake him potentially, depending on how the results go. Scooter is, I think, guaranteed 2nd place because he's still got a game in hand with 13 points, so even if El Tessi wins, it will go to a what's the word? Tiebreaker, that's the word. It'll go to a tiebreaker between these 2 teams, and based on these results here, what is it first? It's touchdown difference, casualty difference, and then tiebreaker between 2 teams, if I remember correctly. So at the moment, El Tessi is ahead on touchdowns, but they have the same casualty difference. So if Scooter catches up 1 touchdown, it will go to a tiebreaker between the 2 teams directly. So that's where that stands. And both Rawn and Undo have the chance to go up 1 level as well. So that's where all this stands. But unfortunately for We Rise and We Fall and the Madcap Loons, they finished where they finished, both with 0-5, and their season is done. They can decide to continue in Bronze next season, or they can retire. Fallen Glory, hello, can we look at the Division MPVs 2? If you remind me how to do that, then yes we can. MVPs, I guess you mean, though, not MPVs, but yes, if you remind me how to do that, then by all means we can. Right, you've thrown me off now. What am I doing? I'm looking at the teams that have already played, of course. So we'll start with El Miko, and the team that's definitely 100% up. Even though he tried to convince me that he wasn't. So if he wasn't before, he definitely is now. There's no doubt about that. And what happened? So we've had 2 injuries, apparently. Let me get my notes. Oh, and I've almost forgotten to shout out El Miko again. He's going to kill me. Or I'm going to kill me. Someone should kill me. Someone kill me. Yeah, SO... up. Oops. No, don't start talking. SO El Miko. There's numbers involved, I think. Let me just have a quick look. Let me just find his channel, because he's not online. Where are you? I have too many channels. I have way too many channels, actually. I need to get rid of some of these, to be fair. Where are you? Where are you? 13, that's the number. El Miko 13. So, El Miko 13 is a Blood Bowl streamer, of course. He's a He's a very good coach, worth watching, much more worth watching than me, because he plays much better, and he plays more seriously. Yeah, El Miko, go check him out. Yeah, and Hype Hide, and Murder. I'm not sure what Murder was in reference to, but I don't think anybody died this game, if that's what you're asking. Last game. And where are my notes now? My notes are here. So El Miko, we've had 2 level ups, and we've had 2 deaths and or injuries, and they're both injuries. So what happened last game? Makarovic, I didn't actually take a note of what happened. I think they're both MNG though. Yeah, we took an MNG on Makarovic, and I think we took an MNG on an Ariel as well, and an Ariel is also one of the 2 that leveled up, and an Ariel picked up Dodge and MNG this game. And Beer Monkey was the other level up. So Beer Monkey, this stat freak blitzer, picked up Sure Hands. So there we go. We've got a very, very safe carrier at the moment, and based on the results so far for El Miko, I don't think he needed that, but it does give him even more support with the ball and with carrying. So that's looking good there. In terms of the MVPs, yeah, I think I'll add these guys to the notes for next time. So I'll do it at the end of the round actually, so we can see who was the best player the whole round. So I think that makes more sense next week than this week actually, Full and Glory. So yes, I will look at that next week, and I'll see if I can find the best player from each division when the division actually rolls, because we still got a week left to go. So, Gameslayer and his re-rise and as we fall. I know that Gameslayer has been looking for support and a lot of help with his game, and he's had a very rough season with the undead. I mean, there's been an unnecessary amount of death on this team, and let me just have a look at my notes for Gameslayer as well. Where are you, Gameslayer? There you are. There was a level up on Owlus the Horrible, who is a skeleton. Good man, leveling up skeletons. That's how we do it. And we picked up Tackle on a skeleton. Sure, I guess. Yeah, block tackle is not a bad combination. Not a skill that I would take on a skeleton personally, but you can never have enough tackle on the team, to be fair. So that there is that. At least you have a chance to slow down elves in general, stunties in general, and also you can be kind of annoying by put skeletons in the way. So fair enough, it's not bad, but well, I don't know. There are other options I would take on a skeleton personally, but I mean, never take advice from me on skeletons, because you've seen my skeletons, and there's a reason skeletons dance when I'm playing them, basically. So regen is a fake skill. It seems to be, or either that, or the what's his name? The necro person needs to be fired. We said that last week, though, I think. So yeah, sure, regen is a fake skill. We'll go with that this season. But as you can see, there's lots of perms on this team. We got a busted movement mummy who still exists. I'm kind of surprised by that, because I think quite a few people have advised you to fire him. I know you can't replace him, though, so may as well keep him until then, sure. We got a niggled white, a ghoul with busted movement, and a niggled skeleton. Niggled skeleton not so important, but the others, that's pretty sucky for the team. So unfortunately they do finish with a pretty poor record with 0-5, and they will finish in 7th place because these two teams are done. Stitches played, and who was the last team that played actually? UpsyDubs, of course. Yeah, okay. I should have started with UpsyDubs actually, because he was first in the list. I'll come back to UpsyDubs now, though, because I mentioned Stitches first. So, MV2 Mummy, oh dear, exactly. GFI just to stand up. Don't worry about any GFI. Rolling just to stand up. It's not good. It's definitely not good. So this Goblin team is still pretty light on players, though we still do have the Fanatic, which is pretty funny. And we had another Goblin broken, yeah. What happened to this team this week? Let's have a look. Stitches, Stitches, Stitches. We had one injury on this team, which is this one here, the Goblin, that I just mentioned. And I guess it's MVP, because I didn't make a note. MVP? MNG. Missed next game, and it is indeed. So yeah, this Goblin team got absolutely smashed in Bronze, I guess, because it's looking like a very sad team, but at least the Trolls are still going. you know, and the Fnatic still exists, and there's a gap here, so I guess that's either a Pogua or a Looney that's missing from the team, though it may just be simply that he's split the Goblins from the Stars, to be fair. At the moment it looks like he's playing a relatively sensible team, but to be honest, the Looney is slightly more sensible than the Fnatic in Goblins. Obviously all of the weapons are fun, but if you want to play Goblins as sensibly as possible, then Looney's the way to go, generally speaking. Okay, and that team unfortunately finishes as well at the bottom, at the very bottom, with 0-2-5 and losing on the tiebreaker to the Undead. And we'll finish off with... what team? What team? What team are we teaming? What? What's the question? Don't understand. So, finishing off with Upsidups and his... they're not lizards, sorry, the Chaos Dwarfs. The Chaos Dwarfs, just animal puns. They look like lizards because there's a frog. What can I say? And do I have any notes for Upsidups or Denorusiski Pio? I don't think I do, actually. Let's just have a double check. Where are we? Where are we? We are here. Yeah, I got lots of notes, actually. Jesus. Okay, there's a level up on 2 players. And there were 2 deaths, actually, if I remember correctly. Or was one of them an injury? Nope, there were 2 deaths, it looks like. So, Pup of Tea and Chai Wawawa, or Chihuahua with Chai, unfortunately passed on into the void. So, these things are dead and gone. And we have 2 levels up on Barely Awake and Unstoppable. So, Barely Awake is a Chaos Dwarf blocker. He picked up Dauntless. That's fun. So we're starting a Giant Killer build on this dwarf, apparently. If we take Piling On, then we have a Giant Killer build, though that kind of goes against the Guard and the Stand Firm. So Dauntless is a weird skill to pick, actually. That's a weird choice. I'm not sure about that one, but maybe DPR can give me a little bit more information on that. And who was the other one? Unstoppable, who's a Hobgoblin, and he picked up Kick. So we got Kick on this team. I guess what team was relating to me calling this team a lizard, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, they're a very good-looking lizard team, aren't they? But no, they're a Chaos Dwarf team. I'm sorry. So Kick is now on the team as well. And Upsidups is definitely out of the playoff race. I think he was already, but he's definitely 100% out of it now, and he can drop as low as 6 if the lizards and the underworld overtake him, or the underworld overtake him. So left over, the Great Rat Race take on Still Got the Blues, which is the Lizardman team taking on the... where's the Great Rat Race? Ah, the Skaven team is Scooter, of course. So, Scooter is going to secure is trying to secure his 2nd place, and the Lizardmen are trying to get above Upsidups, and the last round then would be the Underworld Denizens Unlikely Heroes taking on Nurgle Bile, and El Tessie is still fighting for a top spot as well, of course. I like Dauntless on one of the Dwarfs Big Guy Killer. Yeah, like I said, it is a Big Guy Killer build, but it kind of... this combination is a bit strange, because he's gone for somebody who is good for positional, and then, I mean, the next logical choice is Piling On, which counteracts Guard and Stand Firm, so it's a strange choice, but whatever. It's a... Maybe he's got another option entirely for it, so the Dauntless may just simply be to help with the blocking. Maybe he's had some really tough times where everyone keeps standing on this dwarf, and then it seems like a logical choice. So the fight for 2nd place is still between the Skaven and the Nurgle, and let me just double, triple, quadruple check the scores here. Yeah, El Tessie can theoretically get 2nd place, though it would be on tiebreaker. So he needs to hold on to his touchdown difference, and he also needs to get a win in order to take 2nd place. But if anything else happens, Scooter is through. And that's it for Bronze B. No, not B, C, Bronze C. So let's move on to Silver. Editor AD again, just quickly at the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching this rundown. I will let this play out with a clip from the last game, if applicable as well, like last week, and like every week going forward, I hope. It is worth keeping in mind, though, that this week's rundown was actually for a 2-week period, so if I didn't look at your team, it's because you haven't played your game yet. Or I forgot you, but I hope I didn't forget anybody. I hope so. If I did forget anybody, though, please leave that in the comments as well. Thank you very much for watching this rundown. I'll leave it here for today. I hope to see you in the next one, and good luck, have fun in your games on the pitch. Bye-bye, guys. Onto the skink with monster. I'm gonna get blocked right off though, so I don't know if it's worth it. 3 turns, and I've only really got this guy as a potential scoring threat. Well, that makes up my mind for me. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Down you go. Follow. And let's try and make the run to the touchdown line. 10. Yeah, we'll take 1 GFI then. And then we should be able to do it, yeah? 4. 4. Yeah, we can do it potentially. So just click quickly. Everything works that way, yeah? That's how it works? I think so. Apparently so. And could be cheeky and try and dodge zombie out as well, I guess, but I think I'd rather take the 1 die. Yeah, that saves me from the surf actually, so that's fine.